How's everybody doing? Thank you all so much for coming. I'm absolutely honored to have a room this full, especially during lunch. I mean, really, if there's anybody that still wants to, escape out the back doors, there might still be one open if you're still going to lunch. But no, seriously, thanks everybody for coming. My name's Joey Aiello. I am a senior program manager on the PowerShell team, and today we're going to be talking about PowerShell 7. Let's get into it. So, we're going to be learning about the latest and greatest from PowerShell. A lot of that's going to be around PowerShell 7. What is it? What's in it? When's it coming? What's after that? We're going to talk a little bit about how you can help contribute to PowerShell's continued development, given that we are an open source product. No matter what your skill level, there is some way that you can help out, I promise. And then at the end, we'll be leaving a little bit of time for you to ask me all the tough questions that I'm sure you've been dying to ask all Ignite. So, this is the power of the shell. Managing all the things, everything. You can't find a Microsoft product that's not somewhere in this stack here, especially when it comes to what we're talking about at Ignite. But the awesome thing about PowerShell, as many of us in this room know with our hybrid and heterogeneous scenarios, is that it also works with a ton of other vendors, right? This is the sacred vow of PowerShell that Jeffrey has repeated over and over again and that we continue to uphold, which is that if you learn PowerShell, you will continue to get better at your job, right? Things will be easier and easier. And with PowerShell, we're enabling you to manage and automate every server, every cloud, every hypervisor, network, and so much more. In the last couple of years, PowerShell has been climbing its way up the language rankings. For a 10-year-old language, this is kind of a surprise, maybe not to all of us in this room, but to a lot of the folks in the outside tech community that are watching PowerShell climb in the rankings. Something that was a language, maybe somewhat niche, IT administrators, and it's only on Windows, and I can't use it on these other development platforms, and we've just watched the growth and the interest just build and build and build. So this was an awesome graph that I had as a placeholder, actually, for a number of weeks leading up to Ignite. You'll notice here I'm missing October, right? So this graph goes into September, and we've had some fantastic growth months. These are 30, 40% growth numbers. These are all, by the way, the number of times that PowerShell starts up every single month. Right? So when we start a PowerShell core, not a Windows PowerShell, this is all purely core, we log a little number. We log the version of PowerShell and the operating system that it was run on. Nothing else. And this told us we're killing it. We're way up. And if you notice, that orange block is Linux. Right? So somebody had a question. I did a live podcast just a few minutes ago saying, hey, how much of this PowerShell core growth is actually Linux people? Like, it's a Windows technology, right? No, we've got 50% here operating off of Linux. But then October happened. October's been a really good month for us. We're really happy about October. So I got to sneak this one in just a couple days ago. You'll notice that's all on Linux. And specifically, we happen to know because of the OS string that this growth is all on Azure. Which is phenomenal because it means that PowerShell is helping you guys manage more of what's in the cloud. So that's all 6.2. People are finding value just in this, the 6.0, the 6.1, the 6.2. What about 7? What's the big deal with this new number? Why are we updating? So first off, we wanted to signal, okay, we're moving to a new version of .NET Core, right? So with Windows PowerShell, we were on .NET Framework. We've moved on to .NET Core 2.1 in the PowerShell 6s. And with 7, we'll be moving to .NET Core 3.1. And one of the great things that grants us is, at least on Windows, a bunch of backwards compatibility with the GUI forms, the WinForms, WPF, and a number of other types that have been unavailable in .NET thus far, and have subsequently meant that a lot of commandlets that you're used to having in Windows PowerShell weren't working properly in PowerShell Core. So we've been working closely with module teams. We've been working closely with the .NET team to ensure that we're up to what is now, I believe, at 85% module compatibility in Server 2019 with Windows 7. You know, we've got stuff. I didn't even make my deck. You know, we snuck in Out Grid View is going to make its way into Preview 6 for Windows. So all this sort of stuff is popping back into existence, and we're trying to say, hey, you know, we did this Core 6 thing. It's been really fun. We did a ton of awesome work on the Linux side. We want to continue to support Linux going forward. But also, if you're still on Windows PowerShell, this is the time for you to move, right? We're dropping Core out of the name. We want you guys to try out 7. We think that it's going to meet all of your needs. We've worked very hard to capture the vast majority of what's being done on Windows PowerShell in 7, so that you can take advantage of the increased performance, the new features, the new commandlets, the better web commandlets, the better JSON commandlets, right? All of these things we've been adding that you haven't been able to take advantage of in Windows PowerShell. Some of these new scenarios, specifically in 7, include secret and credential management. I'll have some info up later. Sydney Smith, a PM from our team, is going to be delivering a talk on secrets management. This is actually being delivered around the PowerShell 7 timeframe. We expect to probably eventually deliver this as part of PowerShell, but these are just a number of modules that, you know, we want to make sure we get the surface area right with these commandlets out there on the PowerShell gallery before they find their way in box, so that breaking changes aren't going to hurt you guys as badly. But with secret and credential management, the idea is that we're genericizing secrets, right? We're going to get into a little more detail just another slide, so we're going to move forward here. But we've also added Invoke DSC resource. You know, for those of you chomping at the bit for some news on the DSC front, especially in regards to PowerShell Core, you know, it's a first step for us. You know, I will admittedly say that Invoke DSC resource is not the whole kit and caboodle of having you know, an LCM and all these other things, but it does mean that, you know, partners at companies like Chef and Puppet that we work very closely with, or you know, folks in Azure Services teams are going to be able to call into PowerShell Core to access some of these DSC resources and invoke the gets, the sets, and the test methods on those DSC resources through PowerShell 7. So we're really excited about that, and you're going to see more stuff on the DSC front as time goes on. I'm also going to be showing off a little bit of for each object dash parallel. Does anybody in here use workflows? Okay, leave your hand up if you only use workflows for parallelism. I didn't see many hands go down. So that was kind of our suspicion. For those of you that don't use workflows, you're still about to be blown away by parallelism. It's awesome. We'll get into it in just a couple minutes. In terms of Windows compatibility, as I said, we're bringing these modules back, right? We're up to 85%. We're rocking on more of them. You know, we're working with more and more teams in the office space. You know, as many of you saw, I think Jeffrey did a presentation on the new Microsoft Graph commandlets that'll be coming out. You know, all of these things are oriented around core. You know, oriented around cross-platform, making sure that you know, all the modules that Microsoft puts out are fully on board with PowerShell 7. But we're also implementing something I'll get into a little more later in the presentation here around automatically calling out to Windows PowerShell in those cases where we don't have that native compatibility. So, you know, we want to be able to have that trap door that automatically, you know, takes advantage of the fact that you have a working Windows PowerShell on the machine, but in a way that you don't have to sort of think about which interface you're calling into depending on which script you're trying to execute. We've also added group policy support. So there's a number of ADMX policies that actually are going to ship in PS Home that you can deploy to your AD domains. One key thing there is that there's a setting in those GPs that allow you to use the existing Windows PowerShell policy on the box. So if you don't want to maintain these two sets of policies and you want them to be the same, you'll be able to say, hey, just use the Windows PowerShell policy that's already there, respect that value for execution policy or you know, constrained language mode and those sorts of things. And lastly, we implemented a number of features that we like calling delighters. These are things that are heavily upvoted on GitHub. They're things that many of you have been asking for a decade. Some of these things I uncovered when I went through the Microsoft Connect database upon first joining the PowerShell team 5 years ago. But they include things like a brand new error view. This is huge. You know, the error view, very often we gloss over it. We don't see the important aspects of the error lost in sort of all the noise. So we've simplified it in those interactive scenarios, and we've actually made it more useful in those scripting scenarios. Similarly, we've added a get error commandlet. So instead of, for those of you that have ever done $error, bracket 0, pipe 2, format list dash force star, and then you're looking at the inner exception and wrapping it in more parentheses and that sort of thing, get error is just going to splat out the entirety of the error message to the screen. Hopefully, did anybody see that at the unplug session? Get error. It's pretty cool, right? Awesome. So I'll show a little bit more of that later. But new version notification, when you turn the thing on, we're just going to tell you, hey, you're out of date. Go to this spot, grab a new version. We've added a ternary operator. We'll be getting into that. Pipeline chain operators, null conditional operators. It's okay if you don't know what those are right now. We're gonna get into them, but they really enable some really cool advanced scenarios. So with that, we'll hop right into the operators. Let me just get this right here. So here we've got Visual Studio Code. For those that don't know, PowerShell extension in Visual Studio Code is awesome. We're not taking the ISE away, but we don't plan to integrate it with PowerShell 7. And if you haven't tried out Visual Studio Code or tried to switch over to this, I highly, highly recommend that you do. And even if you have and you weren't crazy about it, try the preview that came out on Monday. There's a massive refactor. We've written a ton of new code to make this way more stable, way more performant, and hopefully you'll notice some of that as I go through some of these demos. So let's talk about the ternary operator first. So can everybody see this okay, by the way? And can I get some thumbs in the back if folks can see it okay? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So basically, the ternary operator says, hey, I'm going to test whether the value right before me, the question mark, is true or false. And then I separate two values here. And I say, if it's true, I'm going to do this thing to the left of the semicolon. I'm going to pass it's true, which will then get assigned to A. Or I will say it's false. And that's if that some conditional is false, right? So you'll notice right now, if we look at some conditional, that it doesn't exist, right? So this is going to return a false. So if I run this here, we're going to, and actually, by the way, another great thing we just shipped for those that are unaware, we put the buttons back. We know lots of you love the ISE buttons. So F5 and F8 buttons are in the upper right corner now. Yay! I didn't realize how big of a deal this was until we shipped it, and people are excited about buttons. You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, if that's what the people want, that's what we deliver. So we've done this. We've set this to $A. So just shout it out. What do we think $A is going to say here? It's false, right? Okay, great. It's false. But let's go ahead and set it to true. So now if we look at some conditional, no @ sign. It's true. And you'll notice also, by the way, running the preview, I've got full PS read line support here in the PowerShell integrated console, which we're very excited about. You can do things like this. Oh, my God. So now we're going to run the ternary again. And what is $A going to return? It's true, right? Because this time, some conditional was true, and therefore we returned this left side, right? So we can do nifty stuff like this. So for instance, in my path, right, I can add something to the path depending on whether or not I am on Windows. So you'll see here, if I say $is Windows, I'm on Windows, right? This is a built-in to PowerShell 7. I've got an is Linux and an is Mac OS. And so in this case, this is going to evaluate to true, and it will append this C:\tools with the semicolon to my env path. On the right side, we've got the Linux version of this, right? And so this is actually using a colon as the path separator. I'm using forward slashes instead of backslashes, and I'm using my tilde for PS Home because the Linux operating system understands that. So if I run this, let's look at my env path. You'll notice, okay, here's a bunch of stuff. I have a lot of stuff in my path. But if we run this, hopefully we get these C:\tools appended to the path. So let's go ahead and do that. And we look at it, and in fact, great, we've got that C:\tools. But there's any number of things, right? I could test whether a VM is up or down, or a service is running or not, or there's all these sorts of ways that I can sort of simplify a really brief check against an object, and then pass an up or down based on that true or false. So far, so good? Yeah? moving along. All right, it's pipeline chain operators. These ones are typically used, my examples here, I'm not going to execute these in a couple cases because I'm going to show some more useful examples. But this one actually I can execute, which simply says, hey, with the pipeline operator, on the left side, if that thing, oh man, I'm going to get it right here. OK. If the command execution completed successfully, which means that we pass true to $hook. Does everybody know $hook or $? Right? So this is the last command, whether it was successfully executed. So if the left side of this and sets $hook to true, then we will execute the right side of the and. Okay? So this says, hey, I want to install module PowerShellGet, but I don't want to import it if that install fails. Does that make sense? So this is great for chaining these long-running operations. I'm going to run it here. I'm not sure that's a great idea given the network conditions, but we'll just go ahead and let it run as I talk through the other ones. But similarly, I could say sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrade. If update fails, it returns some exit code that marks it as a failure. I don't want to upgrade the machine after that. Similarly, npm build and npm test. If my build fails, don't run the test. Build.ps1 and import module, out my built module, right? And if I flip any of these to the or, it's the exact same logic, but in reverse, right? It simply says, hey, if the first one fails, do something else. And that might be, say, hey, start a service, and if that fails, reboot the machine, right? Something, that's a crazy, maybe not that nuclear, but you guys get the idea. It probably works for someone, right? So one more, we got the null coalescing operators. These are really exciting. So basically, this one says if x is null, that left side, then we're going to return 1. Otherwise, if x isn't null, return x, right? So right off the bat, let's check $x. You'll see there's nothing in there. If I run this, what are we going to get? 1, right? Because $x is null. Great. But if we set x to 2, and we run the exact same thing, what are we going to get? 2. These are tricky, right? And one of the things I do want to land is if this isn't making sense to you, that's OK. A, I'm still getting tripped up talking to you about them right now. They're a little tricky. But B, they're shortcuts, right? Think of these as like aliases. This is not the new direction of PowerShell that everything's going to be these question mark operators, bouncing all around. This is, for more advanced scripters, we recognize a lot of these people in this room, you guys have been using PowerShell for a number of years, and you want to be able to do some things real quickly that may, take a lot of syntactical sugar. So I just want to say that to make sure that anybody that's feeling maybe a little out of their depth like I did when we designed these over the last 9 months, that it's OK. So lastly, we're going to do the same thing here with, oh, nope, this is a typo. So that's supposed to be question mark equals. So wait, is it? No, it's not. I don't know why I have this example here. I'm sorry, fellas. Folks. We're going to skip that one for now. So this is another one. This actually is saying, hey, get module list available posh SSH, right? And if we run this, you will see that I don't have it installed on the machine. Right? And actually, it looks like this thing back here installed. So that means I should have PowerShellGet imported, right? Great, that one from before worked. Pipeline chain, yay. Internet's awesome. So posh SSH is not on the machine. And because of that, get module list available returns null. So because this returns null, I'm going to execute the right side here, which actually installs that. So you'll notice we don't just have to do this for assignment or returning a value to the host. This could be actually used to chain commands together, right? And so this is a what if. We're not actually going to install to the machine for internet reasons, but this would have worked, right? Similarly, I could run get service and say, hey, if WinRM, does not have status equal to running, if this returns null, when I go filter by WinRM services that are running, then I'm going to start that service, right? And then lastly, this is one that says, hey, $Z is empty. And so question mark equals will actually assign to that null that 100 value. And similarly, I can do this with commands. I can do this with VMs, that sort of thing. Cool? All right, I'm starting to see some eyes glaze over. Let's hop back into the presentation. All right, so secrets management. So this one's at a little bit of a higher level. I won't be showing a demo today, but as I said, definitely check out Sydney's session later. This is an extensible model for handling secrets and credentials, right? So today we have get credential, and get credential on Windows is very hard-coded. Potentially with Windows PowerShell to pop that little dialog box that you're used to in Windows. On Linux, we do the read host, and we ask for a credential, and we store that at a very specific type, which is a secure string. With secrets, we're trying to generalize this another layer. We realize that credentials in some cases don't make sense. They're username-password pair when really you just need to pass a token. And yes, many of us know there's workarounds there, but it feels a little awkward, right? And many of us are kind of sick of having to expand secure strings multiple times, and wrestle with credentials. So the idea here is that you would have different providers, both local and remote, that plug into this central secrets management system, right? So you'll have a Credman provider, and you'll have, maybe on your MacBook, a Mac keychain provider, or GNOME keyring on Linux, right? You'll have this local vault that you're able to store secrets in. And on the remote end, you'll have services like AKV implement providers as well, so that when I go to run something like get secret, right, I can just ask for the name of a secret, and if I've got that somewhere in either my local or remote location, it's going to pick that up. I may have to disambiguate by provider, but ultimately, if I have some big, long deployment script, and I want, on my local machine to deploy to a test environment, and on my CD continuous deployment machine I want to deploy to a production environment, then I can use the same get secret call and just retrieve the secret from a different place in each case, right? And so in this way, you can generalize your scripts where you're actually retrieving different secrets for different connection strings or different environments, and potentially even share samples, between Azure customers and AWS customers that are both using this generic form of get secret against a different backend provider. So this is going to be coming pretty soon into preview, into the gallery. Add remove secret will not be coming until next year. So right now, this is just about retrieval of secrets. You still have to get them into the key vault some way, without our help. But eventually, we are going to add that. We want to work with as many partners as we can to improve that extension ecosystem over time, because ultimately, this is only going to be as powerful as those things that connect into the back of it. But if you want to hear more, definitely Sydney's going to talk right after this one. You can go grab some lunch after my session and hop on over to her theater session to find out more. All right, so next we're going to talk about for each object parallel. This is the parallelism that I meant before. This is a big one. So for those unfamiliar with parallelism, it basically means that we can leverage our multi-core processors to do more than one thing at the same time. And if we're iterating over lots and lots of items, as we often do with for each object, well, then it's very useful to process some of those items simultaneously so that we're not waiting on one item to be processed before we process another, right? So we've got parallel execution of this pipeline. This is great, for instance, when extracting a bunch of logs, right? Hey, I want to access this one log. Do I really need to wait until that log has been fully parsed and sent back to PowerShell before I start reading another log, right? Similarly, we may want to query or manipulate multiple database endpoints, right? I could have a bunch of SQL servers I want to send queries to. I may want to execute a bunch of synchronous REST calls in parallel, right? So if I've got these long-running REST calls that take 30 or 45 seconds, again, I don't want to wait. Just kick off the network, open up a socket, and let's get as many of them open as we can so that they'll all sort of line up together and be finished at once. So we've got this throttle limit setting. So this is basically setting a ceiling on run spaces. We should caveat, and we've seen this in the wild, some people just crank it up to 1,000 or 10,000. Not always a great idea. may work in some instances depending on what kind of environment you're in. But ultimately, I think this thing defaults to like 5, and you should really only be playing with it in like the 10 to 100 range, more like 10 to 20, but you'll see some of that in a sec. Is anyone familiar with the thread job module? Has anyone messed around with that directly? Yeah, so just so you know, this is all built on top of the thread job module, which basically means instead of spinning up a new process as we do with PS jobs, we're just spinning up a new thread within the same process. This allows us to create run spaces more quickly and manage them with a little less sort of complexity. And we also want to caveat that you do not need to use this in conjunction with PowerShell remoting. And this is specifically in regards to, say, invoke command. Right? So invoke command has its own parallelism built in. If I hand an array of computers to invoke command, it's already going to fan out and open multiple connections simultaneously where the script block is sent over to the other side. Don't, for each object that computer name array and send it on to invoke command, or you're going to run into some problems. That being said, what you send to the other side may still be a parallel operation being performed locally on that box. If that makes sense. I'm going to be around all week, don't worry. So let's take a look at this. We've got a quick little demo here. And in this case, I'm going to be doing exactly the scenario I just described. I'm going to be retrieving a bunch of logs. So, well, actually, let's do this first. So actually, I've got this nice little example here. So this is without using any parallelism whatsoever. It's saying, hey, I've got this array, all the numbers from 1 to 10, and for each of them, I'm going to sleep for 2 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and run that, and hopefully we have some mathematicians in the room. How long should this take? 20 seconds, right? So we're going sleep for 1 second, or sleep for 2 seconds with the first one, sleep for 2 seconds with the second one, sleep for 2 seconds with the third one, right? And you'll see at the end of this execution, it should be very, very close to 20 seconds. Right? 20 seconds and 150 milliseconds. That's great, right? It's exactly what we expect to see. Now, with the default throttle limit set to 5, we can sleep 5 of these simultaneously, right? So mathematicians in the room, before I hit go here, how long is that going to take? 4 seconds, right? And you'll see, if there's nothing crazy going on in the background of my machine, that took 4.29 seconds. Right? So it's exactly what we'd expect. And that 290 milliseconds is the overhead of having to spin up new run spaces in parallel rather than use the existing one synchronously. Right? So what this tells you is that if you're doing extremely short operations in parallel, this is likely not going to help you. And in fact, the longer running your operations are, the more benefit you're going to see over the long haul. So this last one, we can crank the throttle limit up to 10 because I've got a fancy i7 processor on this laptop. What is this one going to do? 2 seconds. Is that what we're going to get? Boom, 2.271 seconds. Right? So again, it's a bit of a trivial exercise because we're just sleeping. There's no network activity or disk activity, but you can see right off the bat what kind of benefits you get. So I'm actually going to do this one really quick and then talk through it as it runs here. So the first thing I've done is I've defined a crap ton of ETW providers that I want to go access, right? I've sorted these actually by smallest, and I've taken over the low chunks first so that I've made sure that this demo isn't going to take eternity. But actually, had I churned through the largest logs, you'd have seen better benefits ultimately than what you're about to see from this. But what I've done is I've measured the command. I've set the events being returned by getWinEvent to a variable called $serial because I'm doing this in serial. I'm really hoping this doesn't take more than 90 seconds because if it does, I'm probably going to cancel it. But we're doing this in parallel, so it's hitting every single one of these providers. And again, it's reading one in its entirety, and it's waiting until that one's fully read to read the next one, right? And really, this is just demo nightmare, as you all could expect. But eventually, this will complete. And like I said, I think it takes about 90 seconds. This is looking like it's taking more. I actually trimmed a bunch of the logs to get this down. The benefit's less. But ultimately, that's what you're going to see come out of this. Oh, there we go. We got it. So yeah, 1 minute and 15 seconds, better than 90. Time just moves slower up here. The alternative here, so again, we're going to set this to parallel, and we're doing this in parallel. And I'm using this again with the default throttle limit. Could potentially be even faster with the throttle limit cranked up. But again, you should experiment with this, right? In some cases, you're going to be bottlenecked by your disk. In other cases, you're going to be bottlenecked by your network, sometimes by your CPU. You have to play around with this thing. You're going to see big data sets perform differently than small data sets in parallel form like this. So it's really important to not see this as magic dust that you can sprinkle on every for each object commandlet, but one that when you're accessing multiple logs could allow you to save about a minute of time, right? Or we're looking at 29 versus a minute 15, so we're talking about 60, 65% savings, somewhere in there. Huge. When I did this with the other logs, I mean, it was like 3 versus 12 minutes or something like that. So, as I said, for these long running operations, it's just going to get better and better. I included this one for fun to make sure that the objects are in fact the same. It turns out they're not because my machine is logging events, but you can expect that this is a fairly small number of events for that brief period of time between the two. But yeah, that's for each parallel. All right, switching back on over. So what about the backwards compatibility? Those are the cool new features, but hey, Joey, Active Directory still doesn't work, so how the heck am I going to move, right? Well, we've improved native compatibility from 65% in the Server 2019 release to 85% in the latest, I believe we're calling it 1909, 20H1, something like that. It's whatever the one's coming out right now. We're up to 85%. I know for many of us, in server with a desktop experience, that means we still don't have access to those commandlets yet. But for those of you on server core, Windows 10, those are available. As I said at my podcast, I really want to get out a giant table telling you all if a module works, if so, where do I get it, what version do I need to be on. I'm really going to try hard to get that out by January. That includes not just the modules we own, but all the modules across Microsoft. And it's going to happen, I promise. We're continuing to improve. .NET's adding more and more Windows APIs. There are a couple modules where we still need to sneak in, that quick little fix so that it works with what .NET has added back. But some of the highlights in this new 20% include PKI, TLS, bits transfer. For those unaware, PKI's got new self-signed certificate. That's a big one. Bits transfer is the fast file download commandlets for Windows. Excuse me. But for those asking about AD, because that's the big one, Active Directory, it is available in RSAT on 1709 and later. And this is why I need to get this table out, because many of us don't realize that, in fact, RSAT can be picked up as a feature on demand in newer versions of Windows and Windows Server, and that module is fully natively compatible. But we're talking to Azure AD, we're talking to Exchange Online, we're talking to SharePoint Online. We know about all these modules. But please, 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 as we always say, hop on over to their booths as well, and if those are modules that are really important to you, let them know so that we can work with them through the prioritization of getting those made compatible. Now, as I mentioned before, we were going to have this legacy sort of fallback mode on Windows. So for those modules not compatible, if they're in System32, it means that we know whether or not they're compatible because we've gone through the exercise for all those. And for those in System32 that we know to be incompatible, like Server Manager, we're just automatically going to call this code under the hood. So if you run a script that's got a Server Manager commandlet, you run through it in PowerShell 7, you're going to notice, you got something like Process Explorer open from sysinternals. You'll see a child process be spun off from PWSH of PowerShell.exe. And then we're using inter-process communication, something called named pipes. If you care about that, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. But we're basically able to send a serialized and then deserialized version of that object over the wire. What that does mean is that object will be dead, as if you called it with implicit remoting. You won't be able to call methods on that object. It will not be a live object, so to speak. But we think in most cases this is going to be good enough. And for those that aren't, please, please, please file issues. Now, if the module is not in the System32, it means we can't know whether or not it's compatible because lots of folks have still not set their PS compatible editions in their module manifest or tested against core desktop. If you own a module, please set the PS compatible editions in your manifest so we know. But you can explicitly do this, right? So you can go, hey, I'm the user, I know what I'm doing, I want to import this module using Windows PowerShell so that any of the commandlets that get run in it automatically call out to Windows PowerShell. This is not available yet today in Preview 5, but it will be available in Preview 6 shipping later this month. And again, that creates a Windows PowerShell run space for each of these, and yeah, you could have multiple Windows PowerShells being spun off of your multiple PowerShell 7s. So what else? What else is going on? You guys, great, there's a bunch of new stuff in 7. And by the way, this totally obscures the fact that we're just shipping bug fixes and new parameters and new, just new all the time. If you dip into our change logs, the list goes on, and thank you to all of our community contributors for shipping, a ton of those features into PowerShell. But we've also, done some stuff around the periphery of PowerShell itself. One of the ways that we've simplified the process of installing PowerShell, especially for those that are .NET developers and already have the SDK installed, you can now install PowerShell core as a global tool. So you just type .NET tool install -- global or -g PowerShell, and you're going to get the latest version. That will be your package manager for PowerShell, and it works completely cross-platform. In the future, we're going to continue to rev that thing. We don't plan, by the way, I should just caveat, when any new installation method comes out, it does not mean we are getting rid of old installation methods, right? We are trying to be everywhere and anywhere. We want it to be as easy as possible to deploy PowerShell. If you're someone who likes zips, the zip will always be there. If you deploy MSIs in SCCM, we've got that for that. The MSIX is going to go into the store, has some gotchas that we'll talk about in blog posts, but again, all these are going to continue to be available. The global tool, Docker containers, don't worry there. Performance improvements, as I mentioned before, these are now available in the latest preview. Please, please, please pick it up and try it out. It's awesome. We are also shipping now by default in the .NET Core SDK containers. So if you're using .NET's containers to build and test your cross-platform .NET applications, you no longer have to bring PowerShell into that container. They keep it up to date, just call PWSH, and we're seeing increasingly more and more PowerShell Core be used as a continuous integration, continuous deployment engine for .NET Core application development. And it's really, really taking off because you can write that build, test, deployment script in the same language, no matter which operating system you're developing on. And then, of course, we're working to get it into the store. There are some caveats there. The store executes applications in certain types of sandboxes, and there may be some system-level things you can't do if you're installing from the store. But one of the things that we want to enable is for people to be able to say, drop PowerShell 7 on an ARM-based Windows 10 device and use it as a remoting client to manage their fleet in Azure, right? So these are the sorts of scenarios that the store edition is going to be able to light up. So similarly, this is another module like the secrets management that, unfortunately will not make its way into PowerShell 7.0, but will eventually come into a 7.x build. You'll see it light up in preview sometime later this year. I think November is our rough target right now. But as many of you know, PowerShellGet, it's had some issues over the years. Some of them are very, very ephemeral or sporadic. You get some red text about your NuGet bootstrap provider, or there's some reason that you're not able to update. We really want to simplify those commandlets. And as part of that, we're going to break the dependency on what was formerly known as OneGet, now PowerShell Package Management. We didn't quite accomplish the goal that we set out to with OneGet of creating a universal package manager, but we still need a phenomenal PowerShellGet experience. And so, we're rewriting it in C# for performance and stability. We're also going to just talk directly to NuGet on the PowerShell gallery side, rather than try and go through an additional layer like package management or NuGet.exe in order to accomplish these connections. And this is going to work side by side with PowerShellGet 2.x, so you'll be able to move to this new thing over time. We definitely don't want to replace 2.x because we know how much automation depends on those commandlets being the same. But you'll notice here on the right, we're operating off of a slightly different model. And anyone who's familiar with apt or yum knows that you have to update your local repository cache before you can update a module. And the reason this is beneficial is because it means when we go to find modules in the local machine, we don't have to ask NuGet over the wire to do that every time for us. We can simply update the local cache and then search our own disk to find out if a module is available, whether it was authored by someone, et cetera, all that metadata. So you'll see sort of the new commandlet syntax on the right, things like find PS resource, which is going to be generic to all the things in the gallery, and then we'll also still have stuff like find and install module for that helper for a specific module. But also, we really want to get the version syntax right. So this is that bracketed versioning where you can say, hey, everything bigger than 1.0, but not 2.0. I'm running really low on time here, so I'm going to scream through the next 5 minutes, and then I will be outside or up on stage while the next guys are getting ready. So don't worry, we can ask your questions. Also, I'm on Twitter @JoeyILO, but we're going to scream through the next few slides here. So what's coming up after that, right? We're going to keep pace with .NET. They're shipping tons of new awesome stuff, and we're just going to snap to every one of their releases. We're going to make sure there's a PowerShell right there next to that release ready to go so that you can leverage all those new features in .NET. We really want to improve the ease with which you can deploy or install PowerShell. So this is more and more package technologies like going into the store. We want to look at going into the WSUS catalog. We want to look at other snap package-like formats on Linux. We want to look at Azure extensions that allow us to deploy PowerShell more easily. So we're really just trying to look at the ecosystem. What can we do to make sure that people can bring PowerShell 7 into their environment immediately? We're going to keep increasing that native module compatibility, working with those teams in Office, Azure AD. Investigations into more PS readline improvements. We made a number of accessibility fixes in PS readline for Windows PowerShell and PowerShell 7, but we really want to be even better and make sure that we're first in class in regards to screen reader support and potentially doing more fancy stuff with drawing on the screen, colors, that sort of thing. Really want to improve native command execution. So we've observed a lot of folks in the wild mixing and matching a .exe or a Linux tool like kubectl with PowerShell pipelines, and we want to do more to first class that experience. So you'll be seeing some new designs coming out around how we're going to think about that, and really we want to get your feedback on how to explore that. Add, remove secret and secrets management sometime next year. That's going to be coming in eventually. Similarly, PowerShellGet 3.0 will find its way into PowerShell 7. But tell us what you care about. File issues, use the up thummy. You don't have to respond necessarily to an issue to let us know that you care passionately about it. Just that up thummy, clicking that thing at the bottom of someone else's issue. That's how we picked our delighters last time. We looked at the top 10 up thumbs, and we said which of these makes sense that we can accomplish in PowerShell 7. So really, that goes a long way in driving our priorities. So my call to action to folks with 2.5 minutes left. Upgrade to PowerShell 7, please, please, please. aka.ms/get-PowerShell. This deck will be online. It's very hyperlinked. We also have an awesome one that'll be on the next slide. I'm going to keep going. Why am I slowing this one down? If you can't upgrade, tell us why by filing an issue. Which module doesn't work? What's stopping you? Why can't you bring PowerShell 7 into your deployment? What does your security team tell you when you try to deploy PowerShell 7 and you can't? We want to hear those things. And then you can contribute directly to our open source projects, right? If you're a big C# developer, we'd love to have you in PowerShell. If you do TypeScript, you can help out in the editor services repo or the Visual Studio Code extension. PowerShell is written in PowerShell with Script Analyzer. All of our documentation, we need examples. We need more and conceptual documentation, explaining the caveats, the stuff in the real world that you guys run into. And then every third Thursday of the month, we do a PowerShell community call. These recordings go up onto YouTube. It's run by me and Steve Lee, who's the engineering manager for PowerShell. And we give you a 20, 30-minute update on everything we've been doing, and we give you 20 or 30 minutes to ask any questions you want right into Teams. Just why isn't my thing, my pet feature happening yet? We answer all of those questions. It's total one-on-one time. We still only have about 30 to 60 folks show up for each of those. So I think if everybody in this room had a question, we could absolutely explode that call. So please, 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 please check that one out. Tons of more PowerShell sessions. Watch the cameras go up real quick. But the aka.ms/ps at Ignite. Whether you care about these sessions or not, everyone go to that link right now. It's got an awesome hangout. It's all the sessions for PowerShell. Even if you missed them, you can catch the recordings or the decks online. It's got everything hyperlinked with what we've shipped in the last year and a half. It's got a quick reference, all the little quirks of the language and stuff you can do in PowerShell in a really tiny font that you can get laminated and stick it on your desk. So check out AKMS PS at Ignite. I'm really sorry I wasn't able to answer questions today, but I'm going to go right outside, and you guys can talk to me about whatever you want. Nailed the timing. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you guys do for PowerShell. We really appreciate it.